Late November is usually the time when things start winding down in video games, but the last few days kind of disprove that, so let's find out what's been happening. Hi, I'm Prob, and welcome to News Trash here on the Geek Show, your regular look at the more interesting things that have been happening in the world of video games over the last few days. So where to start? Well, there's really only one place we can start. There has been one story that's been dominating the headlines in video games for the last week and a half. Ever since that damning Wall Street Journal article came out, Activision Blizzard has been firmly in the line of fire for just about everyone, and in particular, the CEO Bobby Kotick has also been a target. Now, we found out last week that Jim Ryan from PlayStation and Phil Spencer from Xbox both weighed in on the situation with internal emails sent to their staff detailing their concerns about the situation at Activision Blizzard and how they were evaluating the situation. Nintendo have also now weighed in on the whole thing, with Nintendo of America's president Doug Bowser sending an internal email to the staff at Nintendo of America, and in that email he states, "Along with all of you, I've been following the latest developments with Activision Blizzard and the ongoing reports of sexual harassment and toxicity at the company. I find these accounts distressing and disturbing. They run counter to my values as well as Nintendo's beliefs, values and policies." He goes on to explain that Nintendo is committed to having an open and inclusive workplace where all are welcome, and he goes on to remark that the company holds itself to this standard and expects the same from the industry and their partners. Now, it all seems fairly normal, similar to Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer's response. This is where it gets different. He actually makes mention of the ESA in the email, the Entertainment Software Association, and he goes on to mention that Nintendo has been working with the ESA as of at least a week ago to strengthen stances on harassment and abuse in the workplace, and that the ESA must hold its members to the highest standards. Activision Blizzard are also a member of the ESA. Now, because of this leaked email from Doug Bowser, GameIndustry.biz reached out to the ESA wanting their commentary on the whole situation at Activision Blizzard. And although the ESA didn't actually refer to Activision Blizzard directly in their response to GameIndustry.biz, the response is quite interesting. They have stated that harassment, abuse or mistreatment of any kind in the workplace is unacceptable and must never be tolerated. When allegations arise, people impacted need to have their voices heard. Any allegation needs to be acknowledged, thoroughly investigated and addressed with meaningful consequences. The vitality of our industry requires that everyone in the workplace and in our communities feels valued and respected. As an industry association, the ESA convenes its member companies to create dialogue and shape actions to ensure that these beliefs are realised. That's basically the ESA putting its foot down. So, in total, the three major platform holders and the ESA are basically focusing their sights on Activision Blizzard, and they'll be examining every single action that Activision Blizzard take from now on. Which is interesting because Activision Blizzard's CEO, Bobby Kotick, has reportedly said that he would consider resigning from his role as CEO of Activision Blizzard if he can't fix the many issues within the company's culture quickly. Now, this is according to certain sources who spoke to the Wall Street Journal, and they apparently have said that Bobby Kotick held a meeting with top executives at Activision Blizzard on Friday to address the latest problems that they're facing. And while he didn't say he would definitely step down, he said it was a possibility if the company's issues with abuse and misconduct were not fixed with speed. During the meeting, executives also reportedly told Bobby Kotick that some staff would not be satisfied until he resigned. Now, the lack of a resignation letter is likely to upset quite a lot of people at Activision Blizzard who really wanted Bobby Kotick gone. But what's probably going to upset them even more is the fact that the board of directors has announced the creation of a workplace responsibility committee to oversee their efforts to improve their corporate culture. And the committee will initially comprise of two independent directors from Activision's board, Dawn Ostroff, who will act as a chair, and Rebecca Bowers. I don't think a committee for workplace responsibility is going to fix the problem. And the main reason I don't think that is because the problems are endemic at this point. Okay, gonna leave that there. I'm done talking about Activision Blizzard. Can we talk about something else now? Well, I suppose we can, but the main topic is basically the same. PlayStation are facing a gender discrimination and harassment lawsuit, which was filed in California against them on November the 22nd, and it was filed by a PlayStation IT security analyst who has since left the company. The lawsuit claims that Sony tolerates and cultivates a work environment that discriminates against female employees who are subjected to continuing unlawful disparate treatment in pay and work opportunities. And the lawsuit also further alleges that this is something that is endemic within Sony as a whole and is applicable across all of Sony PlayStation's locations, which is a big problem because Sony are a global company and they have locations all over the world. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of investigation into this. I don't think this is going to be a quick and easy lawsuit. As ever, we'll keep you updated on how things progress with that. Moving on to something nicer for a change. Now, staying with that positivity, Kirby. Guess everybody's favourite pink ball mascot who is secretly the most terrifying and powerful creature ever created in video games. Yeah, we know the truth. Kirby has been nominated for a Grammy. Well, not Kirby himself, but the arrangers Charlie Rosen and Jake Silverman are up for Best Arrangement, Instrumental or A Cappella for their arrangement of Meta Knight's Revenge in Kirby Superstar. It's only the third time that a video game has been acknowledged at the awards. I would like to complain, why has Final Fantasy XIV, which holds the record for the most music in a video game, why has that not been nominated? I mean, I'm sorry, but I challenge anyone to listen to A Long Fall by the Primals, which is the music for a dungeon called The Twinning. Tell me that's not a banger of a tune. Alright, a while ago, Microsoft announced that they were going to be forming an alliance with Sega. Now, Sega have come forward to clarify certain aspects of that alliance, one of which is that they won't be doing exclusive titles for Microsoft, which I'm sure is a relief to PlayStation and Nintendo fans everywhere. According to Sega, Xbox is providing tech support for Sega's Super Games, which is fair enough, but, and I continue to believe this, Phil Spencer has always said that he wanted a Japanese developer or publisher as an integral part of Xbox, and I still firmly think that Sega is the prime candidate for that. They have a history of working together, a positive history that is, and they've continued to maintain that over all these years. They're obviously very, very good friends as companies. They don't step on each other's toes. Sega don't have a console at the moment, but Microsoft have been looking to do something that would expand their horizons, and with the arrival of the new Steam Deck, that is a direct challenge to Microsoft's supremacy on PC as well. So, Dreamcast handheld, anyone? And yeah, I know it's a pipe dream, it's not going to happen, but I can dream, goddammit. Anyway, moving on. Hideo Kojima, along with David Cage, has long been acknowledged as somebody who would prefer to make films rather than video games, which is why their video games always end up looking the way they do and playing out the way they do. And now he's getting his wish because Kojima Productions has launched a new film, TV and music division. This seems to be the trend for developers and publishers these days in video games. They launch film, TV and music divisions. Now, apparently the new division will be tasked with working with creative and talented professionals in television, music and film, as well as the more familiar games industries, and the team has as its charter the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of the properties now under development at Kojima Productions, and to make them even more a part of our popular culture, which basically means spin-offs of existing IP. So, just like the Witcher TV series on Netflix, just like Arcane on Netflix, just like Castlevania on Netflix. I'm saying a lot on Netflix these days. Does anyone else see a pattern here? Yeah, there's a definite pattern because Amazon seem to be getting in on this game. They are reportedly nearing a deal to make a Mass Effect TV series. And they've already got the Wheel of Time TV series, and by all reports from the first couple of episodes, people are happy with it, especially fans of the books. I'm a fan of the books. Haven't seen it yet since I prefer to have big chunks that I can swallow whole. I have a very big mouth. Anyway, Amazon are reportedly nearing a deal to make a Mass Effect TV series, and they're in the process of securing the rights to Mass Effect, according to Deadline. Now, according to the article in Deadline, it's part of Amazon's push to create more genre content for the streaming service, and that's following the success of the current Wheel of Time series and also their upcoming Lord of the Rings series. And it's obvious now that Amazon are taking a leaf out of Netflix's playbook. Good on them. More of this content, I will consume it happily. Anyway, some final bits of news just to round things off. Battlefield 2042 is now one of Steam's worst reviewed games of all time. It's in the top 10 worst games ever on Steam, with only Gasp, Identity, Space Base DF9, Kinetic Void, Uriel's Chasm, Flatout 3, and the shameful eFootball 2022 getting lower aggregate scores. Moving on to Epic, who have bought rock band creators Harmonix in order to make musical journeys for Fortnite. I don't know how to process this. Harmonix had great success with Rock Band, and they revealed this with two separate announcements from each company. Harmonix has always aspired to create the world's most beloved interactive musical experiences, and by joining Epic, they believe they'll be able to do this at scale through Fortnite. So, is this a case where we're going to have a Rock Band-esque thing and Rock Band-like attachments for Fortnite? Probably not. The idea is that Harmonix is going to be continuing working on Rock Band for downloadable content and Fuser events, whilst also creating musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite, which does raise a lot of questions. Fortnite is, by its nature, run around, shoot stuff, build constructions, build forts, run around, shoot more stuff, have fun, dance, that sort of thing. So, my main question with this is, how are you going to have musical journeys? Are you going to have the Fortnite version of The Wizard of Oz? Or some other musical? Oh God, the Fortnite version of the Phantom of the Opera. No, the Fortnite version of Cats. No! My brain just rebelled against me, so I'm going to leave that there. Meanwhile, Games Workshop have had to remind fans of Warhammer 40k's Imperium of Man that the Imperium of Man are the bad guys, and this is after a player wore Nazi imagery to a tournament because he was a fan of the Imperium of Man. And so we appear at our penultimate story, because the last one is a doozy, and it is a rumour. But before that, Microsoft have opened a new digital Xbox museum that features interactive exhibits about the company's history and includes a section for your own achievements. It's part of the Xbox celebration this year, the 20th anniversary of Xbox, and the company has done a lot to commemorate with special milestones, limited edition Adidas shoes, the fancy Halo Xbox Series X, and all sorts of other stuff. The digital Xbox museum that you can have a look through is actually quite a fascinating little thing. And there are some gems in there, including, with some redactions, the letter that Microsoft sent in 1999 in an effort to buy Nintendo. So it's worth checking out as an archive, a piece of history. And finally, do y'all remember back in September, Nvidia got themselves hacked and the database of unannounced titles was leaked to the public? Well, most of those titles we didn't know anything about. Some of those titles were very, very familiar though. After that, Video Games Chronicle reported on claims that PlayStation was set to announce a remake of a big game this Christmas. Those allegations were made by a musician who said they were involved with the making of the soundtrack. And people started getting a bit more excited, thinking, ooh, what's going to happen? Well, the remaster in question is apparently Chrono Cross. I'm just going to wait there while a lot of you recover from the fades that you're having right now. All better? Good. Let's crack on. There's loads of kind of circumstantial information as to why Chrono Cross might be the remake in question. If you have any thoughts about the stories that we've covered today, then leave us a comment below. You can also show your support by heading to our Patreon and supporting us in any way you can. We do have some exclusive content on there as well. So until the next episode, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.